From Brampton at number 3, Isabella Nixie. From Fort Perry, number 7, Megan McCoy. From Pickering at number 9, Mara Demila. From Etobicoke at number 13, Maya Berry. And from Trenton at number 20, Corey McArthur. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup of you, Loyalist Lancers. From Frankfurt at number 1, Anna Surt. From Sterling at number 2, Madison Reed. From Trenton, number 4, Ryan Fitzgerald. From Kingston, number 9, Hannah Bender. From Sterling, number 12, Abby Reed. From Foxborough, number 13, Elena Reed. And from Brampton, number 3, Sarah Fielding.
Getting the turnover. Oh, we've been talking to nobody? Oh, man. Jeep. Welcome again, Bones. Having some technical difficulties. There's a good little attack, little switch there by the Humber Hawks, and they're off again with their attack. Not a lot there at the moment. Good tackle. No contest, and the ball's up, so we'll see what happens here, how the attacks are going to go. Two-player tackle, no contest again for the ball, but there's your tackle. That looks like it's going to be a clean poach. Absolutely. Ryan Fitzgerald gets the poach. She would have tapped and went. Oh, there it goes. Just a little hesitation. I think they want to get that. Oh, no. The prop with, again, another big run.
Oh, great fend off.
That's Sarah Fielding with a huge.
It, so I guess that's why there was.
There we go. We can hear each other now. There was a
great opportunity for Loyalist, Kyle. That was a terrific run by Sarah Fielding from Brantford.
Yeah, right through the middle of the field. I was about to say that she should get it out to the speedster Elena Reed, but then she showed some speed herself.
What do we know?
Absolutely. There's another good defensive play there by Bender off the back of the scrum. And there's a knock on. If they can get this loose ball, there it is. Elena Reed's in.
Yeah.
All-star Elena Reed opens the scoring.
Well, shows why she is an OCAA All-Star. Very opportunistic. Loyalist was going to get the scrum, but also playing advantage, of course, in rugby, which is a huge thing in Atlanta. very wisely, very aware of what was going on, picked up the ball, and dives over for the tournament's first try.
Yeah, this has been, Loyalist winning with defense right now. That's a couple of turnovers that have led to big runs and set themselves up there. And then good pressure off that scrum again by Bender, and the knock-on leads to a looked like a great kick, just short.
Yeah, she had the absolute, in terms of accuracy, it was curving for her the right way, Ryan Fitzgerald, but that wind just held it up short.
Yeah, straight into the wind there. I think she would have had it if it wasn't so windy out.
Yeah, needed just a bit more leg, and it was, like I said, it was hooking for her, but the wind held it up. So Loyalist posts the early 5-0 lead over the Humber Hawks.
Yeah, they, like I said, big defense. So the kickoff here, see how that defense holds up. See if Humber can get anything going. Great kick, looks like into the...
Good take.
A little slip out there. The field is little, it looks great, but the footing is a little bit off. We had a lot of rain on Thursday, and the field's just trying to recover.
Great run by the Humber player, but you cannot go into touch because that's an instant turnover.
And Loyalist with the quick play, and they move the ball, and now get it out. There's the speedster.
Nice hands.
It's going to be tough to catch her.
Wow.
Elena Reed going, looks like maybe for her second try of the game.
She should be able to get between the sticks, too, or at least close.
She's going to make it better. This is going to be a little bit easier kick for Fitzgerald. That's an excellent run there.
That was terrific.
Great quick line. Ball movement was excellent. Coach is going to be pretty happy with that one.
Well, we saw Loyalist at the start of the season, in fact, their home opener, and they didn't react quickly enough, we thought, on quick balls and penalties, and today, totally different story. Their first try was a quick reaction on a Humber knock-on, and this one, when the Humber player was bundled into touch after a great run, Loyalist instantly moved the ball, and it ends up with another try.
Yep. Take the time and space when you can, right?
Absolutely. So they've been working, that's for sure. Kick again goes awry, and that wind's going to be, as we said at the top of the show, Kyle, that blustery wind is really going to affect the converts.
Absolutely.
And it has.
About a minute left to play in the first half here. 10-0 lead for Loyalist. They're going to kick off again, and we'll see. Well, I'm sure they're going to try to defend that edge a little bit. Like I said, they looked like a little bit of a slip there by the defender, and then about a 25 or 30-meter run for Humber, but bundled into touch.
Hannah Bender kicking off.
A little deeper. Well taken. And Humber starts to move the ball. See about this defense. There's Bender holding on. Doesn't quite get the tackle, a little offload. There's their first tackle after probably almost 30 meters on that return. Ivy Reed's up, and the offensive player falls, and a quick ball out to the wing, and Elena Reed on the tackle.
Great
Gets
tackle.
it. Really good cover tackle.
Nice offload.
Excuse me. And there's Fitzgerald, finishes the tackle. A little pop, looks like it went forward.
Went forward, yeah.
Yep, that's going to be a scrum to Loyalist. That might be the half. Referee says yes, it is halftime. So we got a 10-0 lead for Loyalist at the half. Coach Fitzgerald is going to be pretty impressed, I think, with that start for his Lancers.
Well, they got to be thrilled. And both real excellent tries. Great reaction by Alana Reed on the first try on a knock-on by Humber deep in their zone. And then a quick ball after Humber was bundled into touch in the Loyalist zone, and she ran about 60 meters for the second try.
Yeah, great team try. They had about 4 people handle the ball there from the line out, quick line out, in, and hands down the line to the speedster, and off she went. So beautiful day, but very windy.
Yep.
So we were having some technical difficulties earlier. We do think the wind was going to play a factor on any of those converts, or if there's any kind of kicking game involved. The wind could definitely manipulate the ball.
Well, and we're looking at the flags, and it's coming directly from the west, which is not unusual, and the westerly wind. And it seems to have abated just a little bit. It kicked up right before halftime, so it might come and go. But but it did affect Ryan Fitzgerald kicking twice convert attempts for Loyalist. Had the accuracy, but the ball was just held up in the wind both times.
Yeah, that first kick attempt for sure looked like it was going to be good, and I think the wind just stopped it in its tracks. It doesn't quite get there. So like we were saying, the winner of this will go on to play the Durham Lords in the first semifinal this afternoon.
And we've got Seneca out of Toronto and Algonquin out of Ottawa for our next game.
Yeah, in the next quarter, yeah, the winner of that one will go on to play St. Lawrence College in the other semifinal.
So Loyalist in good shape, Kyle, coming into this second half with a 10-0 lead.
Yeah, great start for them. So the defending, I believe the defending champion Durham Lords are undefeated on the season. So whoever wins this one gets a big challenge in the next one. First crack to try to unseat the champs and move on to that gold medal game. But good start for the Lancers here in the first half.
Well, like you said, I haven't seen them since the start of the season, and much quicker on the ball movement. That was one of the critiques that we leveled in the first tournament of the season, was that they seemed to be a little bit slow to react, and head coach Ken Fitzgerald jumped all over that, and obviously they've been working on it, because the great reaction by Alana Reed on the Humber knock-on for the first try, and then that quick ball in when Humber was taken into touch, and she made that into the second try. So nice to see Loyalist reacting very quickly to opportunities.
Sarah Fielding just jogging over to this near sideline to where we are, Bones, and she really kind of got the team started with the flip the field with that huge about 50-meter run after the turnover.
Terrific run.
Kind of set them up for an opportunity on that first try.
Yeah, Sarah Fielding from Brantford, as we mentioned, that was a terrific run. It really got things going.
Well, she might get a chance to touch right here. It looks, oh no, and then we looked like maybe a knock on, then they just turned it into a penalty on themselves. That's compounding the problem. Oh, and then knock on right back. So
that's too bad.
No harm, no foul, I guess, for Humber.
Well, that was number 17, Mary Adarkwa for Humber, who did not release the ball. She might be the tallest player in the tournament. She's certainly the tallest player on the field that I can see right now.
She lists as just shy of 6 feet.
Yeah, big kid, and unfortunately for her didn't have support there. Tried to hold on to the ball, and
we got a free kick awarded, and this is Jada Fowler, the scrum half for Humber. She is one of their all-stars on the season. So the quick, and then I think, the referee says high tackle. I wasn't sure if he was going to say they weren't 10, but I guess they were 10. This time it does not look like Hannah Bender's 10 yet. Actually, most of the Lancers aren't 10, but I think they might have got there. So we'll see how Humber reacts. They're looking like they're going through the hands here. Elena Reed, she's been a monster here so far. That's 2 tackles on the edge. She's got the 2 tries. It's
knock on.
Right now it's kind of the Elena Reed show.
Well, she produced that knock on with that.
Here goes Fielding. Let's see how she goes. Well, this time it looks like she's going to hold on here and just see what she can get.
Should have had it out.
Fall forward, and Humber's going to have to release. There it is. Loyalist gets the ball. Abby Reed tackled. Almost tackled right away, behind the line even.
That's Madison Reed who shucked that tackle off for a Loyalist. Ooh, tough break.
Some handling errors. And Fitzgerald doesn't go quickly after the knock, and now we got advantage, and referee's calling that high as well. Again, sevens, it's a tiring game, and as the game goes on, you just don't want to compound problems, and unfortunately, I think that's what Loyalist has done here. They had a knock on, and then they turned it into a penalty advantage. We'll see what Humber can do with it here. There's the all-star, and she can get 3. Doesn't look like she's going to quite get through. We got a Lancer down over here on the near side.
I think it's Ryan Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I think she's up.
She's back up, shaking it off in good
and there was looked like Humber finally got the edge there with that attack. It was kind of a sustained 4 or 5 phases, and then unfortunate for them, they had the knock on when it looked like they had space, and just outside the 22 would have had a good chance for a run through to the goal.
Well, for Humber, time is of the absolute essence right now. We're at 2:30 in the half, and they need a try as fast as possible, and then have in the reserve maybe a couple of minutes to try and score the tying try. But so far, Loyalist defense, it's been bendable, but it's held.
Yep, they've been managing to they give up some yards, and then they end up forcing a knock on, or there's a small handling error for Humber. So this is going to be a Loyalist scrum here. We got 2.5 minutes into the second half, so still lots of time in a sevens game, but like you say, 2 scores down. Humber's going to want to make a turnover here and give themselves a chance to get on the scoreboard.
Well, sorry, we got they're doing the clock in the reverse fashion. Sorry, we've got like 5 minutes left.
There's about just over 4 minutes left in the game.
I forgot they were not counting down; we're counting up. So you're right, tons of time, but they need to try fast. But Loyalist is denying them possession.
Well, nice little move there, and Hannah Fitzgerald gets through. tries to. The referee says it went back, so we're going to continue to play here. And there's a quick ball, so Loyalist is still on the attack. See if they can flip the field, and there's a knock again, which is, you know, what Humber, we were just saying was Humber was be looking for. So I know there's not a lot of kicking in sevens, but I kind of wondered if Loyalist was going to try to flip the field a little bit, and Fitzgerald's got a big foot, so I thought maybe she would pound it through and see if she could just flip territory a little bit.
And wind at her back, too. If you get a nice grubber down the sideline, that could travel.
Didn't look like Humber had anybody kind of being a sweeper or a scraper on the back, so she could have kicked it through. And
nobody home, as we say in the rugby vernacular, but they decided to keep ball in hand, which is never a bad choice, but unfortunately for Loyalist, Fielding had an uncharacteristic handling error. Really fought with that ball. I thought she was going to pull it off, but it just got eventually out of her control, and it'll be a Humber scrum. She's being looked at by one of the physios, and hopefully she's good to go. Well, we were raving last night about this Loyalist complex, and there's a field to our right, which farther east, which is almost, well, probably as good as the main pitch here, and it's lit as well. So Loyalist has really become rugby central for this part of Ontario colleges.
Absolutely, this facility with the new grandstand and the two new fields, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And I played on the field last night, and it's soft, it's
terrific,
good, there's no issues out there. It's a great shape.
So
here we go, Humber attack.
And raving at it.
Yeah, Humber attack. Looks like two defenders for one offensive player, but she slips the first one. There's Fielding. Oh man, she has been. I mean, if it were, I mean, Alina Reed is doing the scoring, but Fielding has definitely been a factor as far as changing possession, making big plays. There's another big one there with that turnover in the tackle. There's Fielding again. She's willing to. Looks like they're going to just fight for a little bit of yardage here. Looks like a fall forward, good presentation. Alina Reed's over. Loyalist is kind of, I think, like you say, just killing some clock here.
Yeah, why not?
Not too worried about, don't want to make a mistake. There's Fitzgerald on a little bit of a step, and if she can break this one, this game is going to be over.
Yeah.
It looks like she's through. This is going to put this on ice, I think, Bones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great run. Great team try again.
Yeah.
Wow, Loyalist is playing well.
The OCAA Rookie of the Year, and she just showed us why. Ryan Fitzgerald of Trenton shot the gap and fended off one would-be tackler, and then she was gonzo. So 15-0 for Loyalist with about 5 minutes to go. And I think you're right. I think that's all she wrote for Humber. That's a big margin with less than 5 minutes to go to try and overcome.
So the OCAA All-Stars for the Loyalist Lancers, that's 3 tries for 2 of them. And, you know, they've really kind of dominated this game, those two. I mean, I got to give it a little extra to Fielding, too.
Yep.
Fielding has been a monster. She just flipped the field with a huge run in the early in the game and set up the first try. And then on that one, she actually created the turnover on the penalty, you know, a few phases before they found that edge. And got to think she's going to be a factor again in the next game. Looks like Loyalist will move on to play the Durham Lords in the semifinal. And
Fielding has earned the last few minutes off. As Coach Ken Fitzgerald of the Lancers feels pretty comfortable with this 15-0 lead. The convert attempt did not go, and Loyalist has a real excellent 15-0 lead over the Toronto-based Humber Hawks.
Right around 100 seconds left here. It's going to be tough to score 3 tries.
There's a just haven't had enough ball either.
Deep and well handled though off the bounce. And then there's that really tall athlete, Mary Adarkwa.
It was a great offload, but it went to the ref.
So Humber will keep the ball here with a scrum, but Loyalist will be happy to eat up a few seconds here, getting ready to scrum down.
Yeah, all they need to do now is defend. They don't have to do anything spectacular. And when they get the ball, I mean, another try certainly is what they want, but all they really need to do is just, if they get the ball back, keep possession and grind that clock down.
So the Humber All-Star there. Jada Fowler is the scrum half. There's a free kick. Let's see if she goes quickly. This is the thing we were talking about earlier that really set up two of the tries for Loyalists were off quick play.
Oh, nice
And there's
move.
a nice little move there by number 9. number 9, Mara DeMello.
It was a great show and go, but unfortunately, she didn't get the pass through, but they get the penalty.
And they're off and running again here, and that's going to
Ooh,
probably
that's
be high.
Yeah.
And Loyalist needs to be careful here. They're not going to take a card, I'm thinking. Oh, unfortunate on the knock.
He's going to give her a second chance to say that you weren't on the mark. Yeah, good for him.
And Loyalist is
they were
really,
offside
they're not close to 10 meters.
No, they were offside when she did that first tap and knocked it on. So that's the
nice
call.
Little fake switch there. And then passed it back into the traffic and see if Loyalist can defend these last. The time will be up on the next whistle. It's just a matter of how that last whistle is going to occur. Looks like a new penalty. I think the Loyalist defender didn't get out of the way there. Really kind of slowed the attack and laid on the ball. And they're not 10 meters again, so I think he's going to give another advantage.
Yeah.
So as Coach Fitzgerald's made a few substitutions, the execution's gone down a little bit. It's certainly on the defensive side of the field.
Here comes a card, I think. Repeated offsides. Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a yellow card to finish the game. That's from Loyalist number 16, Kaya Pulatsky.
Yeah, I'm guessing repeated offsides, which is a professional foul.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too, Bones.
Down. Yeah.
Well, it looks like she's thinking about playing defense still on the goal line.
Yeah, she's not quite. She doesn't quite get that she's been sent off.
There she goes. Now she's walking off. I think Loyalists would be real happy here if they can just escape without giving up points. I'm sure Humber would be ecstatic with scoring, and it looks like, that might have been high. Yes, it's going to be a penalty try.
Yeah, that's a good call.
So the game's going to end 15-7 in favor of
another card.
The Loyalist Lancers.
That's an automatic card, I believe.
Oh, maybe he didn't call it. They're having a little conference there.
Well, he did call the penalty try, and that's the game.
There it is. So I'm wondering, did he give a card on the penalty try?
No, I thought he was
elected
reaching.
Not to?
Yeah. It looked to me like he was reaching, but then he thought better of it. He talked to one of his linesmen, John Nellis, from our Belleville Bulldogs Rugby Club, and they're having a little conference right now. Probably figured, hey, the damage is already done. Humber's losing this game, and they'll get their penalty try, at least get on the board, and let's move on to game 2.
Yeah, so game 2 is Seneca and Algonquin. And they're coming up shortly, 10:30.
So 15-7, the Belleville Loyalist Lancers over the Toronto Humber Hawks, and now we have Toronto Seneca Sting versus Ottawa-based Algonquin Wolves for game 2, our second quarter final, as Kyle mentioned.
So make the final 15-7. Loyalist moves on to play the Durham Lords in the first semifinal. And Humber will go to the 5th place game and meet the loser of Seneca and Algonquin.
So great start for the home team.
Absolutely. So we'll be back in a few minutes with their next game there.